Hi, everybody. Before we get to another great interview, the Too Opinionated podcast could really use your help. And it's easy, it's free. IMDb, which is the entertainment database, imdb.com, named us a top 100 podcast. We came in at number 82. That's a big deal because there's 15 million podcasts and growing. So to be named to anybody's top 100 list, pretty big deal for us. And the way you can help is to go to imdb.com, look up the Too Opinionated podcast, and that's it. Just bringing our page up. That traffic really helps us out. Our YouTube channel is MeisterCon Pod. All we ask is that you subscribe. It's also free, but that really helps us to attract these amazing guests that we keep bringing on the program. And that's it. Two easy ways for you to support us, and we would really appreciate the help. Now let's get to that interview. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Too Opinionated. I'm so excited today. I've got author Jaymar Jackson with me. So welcome, Jaymar.
Hey guys, how y'all doing?
We've been waiting to talk for a little while. The book is fantastic. So and we'll talk about that here in a minute. Celestial Elementals, awesome. But let's start this way, Jaymar. Tell me a little bit about what got you into writing, why you wanted to try to write a book. It's a difficult thing to do, and the writing, honestly, that might be the easiest part of it.
If I was someone who actually liked to write, fun fact, I don't like to write.
Okay, fair. That's fair.
Okay, I wouldn't say I don't like writing. I don't like typing. I mean, let's go with
Okay.
that. But yeah, I started my writing journey way back in 2016. This book took me forever to write because it was on again, off again, on again, off again. But you know how something in your head is like, you have to get this story
That's
out.
right.
And it just kept pounding and nailing until voila, here we are in 2024 is when it was released. And I'm
That's a
very,
long journey.
yes, man. You don't even know the half of you.
Well, so when you decided you decided I'm going to write this book, you finally like I'm guessing you were
Mhm.
having some sleepless nights trying to figure out a way to move forward without having to write the book. But now you got to write the book. So you
Right.
decided to do it. How did you get started if you don't like to write?
The way I got started back in 26, well, actually 2017. It was around that time where I said, you know what, I'm just gonna sit down. I'm gonna lay out my main like imagination. Like there was a scene in my head, right? And it was this black boy in like a ninja technical outfit, and he was fighting a demon. And I just they just stuck with me for so long until I just started writing it down, and that's when I wrote my first outline of like how I wanted things to go, and that was near the end of the book. And then it was like, so
Oh,
from there I built out, how do I want this story to come down to this point? How do I want it to get here, and what do I need to build, and mainly what message am I trying to push out and give out in the process of also getting out this vision that I had. So that's how things sort of came to be. And over over those few years, I stuck with that outline, and I just kept writing as I go, as I kept thinking of things, as things kept coming to me. I just like, okay, let me write this. Let me go type at this. Let me like, there are millions and not millions of these, but like two, three, four, five college rule notebooks around here of me just writing out like plots and what's going to happen to this person and how does this person grow. And it's like everywhere,
weird.
not organized at all. The only thing I have organized are my outlines. Everything else is somewhere on paper because I had to sit, I even look at the laptop and go, let me write this out. So it goes from here, from there, from
Okay.
there it goes to the computer. So
That's impressive because it's difficult for anybody to sit down and write, even if it's something small. But to
yeah.
have the discipline to stick with something for 8 years while you wrote it, that's amazing. Good for you. That inspires me. Not enough to write anything, but a little bit.
Right. And also, I'm doing that now. Now it's a little bit easier. I feel like the more I do it, the easier it becomes. I started writing the second book actually
Well, that's what my next question was this one any easier?
This one is a bit more easier, and it's much more. The first book is like 37,000 words, and
Yeah.
that took me 6 years. The second one is I'm at what I'm at 42K right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I'm still not done.
And
And
you're
so,
getting into some George Martin territory there.
right,
Be careful. We know what happened there.
look, I'm being precautious. I'm taking my
Don't
time.
sell the rights until you finish.
Exactly. I mess around and be like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, the
But you
disappointment.
know, George thought he was going to finish.
Oh yeah, he did. He did.
I believe that. I think it shocked him that he wasn't
Yeah,
able to finish before they get past him.
right. Yeah, I made the first thing I did when I was like, because I had it copyrighted before I even finished.
Oh, good. That's good.
That was the one thing I was like, if I'm going to do anything, I didn't even copyright, because as long as there's some related copyright out there, that's good enough. It's good enough. So I got the series as a whole copyrighted.
How
So
how how difficult was it to get the copyright for that?
it wasn't that hard. Like going to the site, applying. You basically Google had everything. This was before ChatGPT, but Google had everything out there to be like, okay, step one, you go to the copyright site. Step two, you sign up. Step three, you pay this, put in your information, bing, bang, boom, and then you wait until they say, and then you get your letter in the mail. It's like, hey, here's your copyright for your thing. And so
That's cool.
yeah, it's not as hard as everybody makes it seem. If you want to get down into the intricacies and the details, it would be harder. Like, let's say, for instance, if I copyrighted the series in every single book, then it's a little bit more nuanced. It's a little bit more
Right. But you just kind of copyrighted the idea, the overall concept. Is that?
exact.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's smart.
Mhm.
Gives you a little protection because we know there's a lot of people trying to steal stuff out there.
Oh yeah, they'll love to snatch up ideas. Like
Yeah,
so.
I know that to me. I mean, there's a lot of bad crimes out there, but that one's just terrible. I mean, just somebody's put their heart and their soul into something, and
Yes,
you're going to take it. That's just terrible.
yes. And people don't mind because they're like, you know what? I want a little shine off of that too. Let me see if I can.
That's right. They don't care.
They don't care. They just like, you know what? I think I can make money off of that. I'm gonna just let me see if I can copy and paste. Hey, Chat GPT, can you?
Yeah, that Chat GPT, it's a good tool, but it can be used against you.
Oh yes, very, very much a double-edged sword if I ever seen one. So
That's right. Well, so is the book out now? Can we
yes,
purchase it now? So Celestial Elementals, and is it? I'm guessing Amazon everywhere.
yes. So Celestial Elementals is out now. It's available on Amazon. It's available on Apple Books. It's also available at Barnes and Noble Press, which is basically online. Any orders you make online, they create the book, they ship it onto your house, and it's ready for you to read. Also, the audiobook is available too, because I know some people are like, they pick up a book and go, oh, a
Yeah.
book.
Hey, good for you too for doing the. I've been listening to the audiobook, and you do a really good job changing your voice for, especially for the female characters and stuff. It's really good. That's
Man,
not easy.
that is at all. And also like trying to know like how to go switching back from narrator to
Yeah,
character to evil person to godlike voice. It's a lot.
a lot.
So I've already promised myself when I finish this book, got everything edited, I'm gonna start looking for a sound engineer that has a studio, and I'm gonna go in there and be like, look, I'm gonna say stuff, you're gonna edit it and put things in the right place. I can't because
Yeah,
it's
it's a lot to do on your own at home.
and all I have is my trusty Yeti X mic over here. And a bit of patience that I have for myself. I have so much patience for everyone else, but not myself. And so I'm sitting up here trying to going back trying to edit edit the chapters and everything. I'm like, and then I realized I sped through this because I'm so over it.
Yeah. Well, that's right, and that's probably not a good thing.
It's not. So like those are one of the things of like learning things as you go, learning things with the first book. There's so much I've taken in. And so I can't wait to put out the second book because I'm like, I'm going to do this so perfectly. Like I can't mess up. So it's like things of like, oh, making sure that the word count expands, because I've had some people go, oh, I loved it, but it was so short, or oh, I loved it, but then I'm like, okay, great. So I know what to do now, and I know to give y'all a more expansive world, give y'all something more to cling on to, make you scratch the walls a little bit more as we go down this road. And also, like when I start doing my narrating and my voice acting in the audiobook, taking my time, just literally like taking much more time than I normally would, and just talk it through, and instead of trying to be like because I'm just like because I keep seeing the I have GarageBand up, and I keep seeing the timer go, and I'm just like so I'm trying to get it out and get it out there. And the next thing you know, y'all have a 4-hour audiobook, and I'm looking at the other ones, and they're going like, oh, 12 hours, 16 hours, 18 hours. Oh, Jesus. Okay.
I noticed that. Like when I saw it was 4 hours, I was like, boy, that's pretty quick.
Yeah. Go. Mike, I was
But
go.
I've been listening. I listened to about half of it so far,
Yeah.
and it doesn't feel rushed. If that helps.
Good. That's the whole point I wanted to make. Like, I as long as it doesn't feel like
It didn't to me anyway. Well, and like my wife, she listens at 2.5 times speed.
oh,
But
okay.
like she would finish your book in a little over an hour.
Yeah,
She just very like I've tried that and it just hurts my head. I can't follow.
Yeah,
but like with her, she wouldn't have had any trouble with that. She
oh
didn't
wow,
knock that out.
that's amazing. I can't, no,
I can't do it. I've gotten like in the car when the two of us are in there and I'm trying to listen. If she gets it down to about 1.2, I can still follow. But anything above that, and I can't follow.
Yeah, because I think she's like, okay, let me get through this one so I can get to the next one, because it's so many out there, and it's so many
Well,
stories.
that's it. I think she's already finished like 50 books this year or something.
Wow.
But she's listening. She's just all the time listening to, and
That's
she
still,
does that instead of podcasts and stuff.
yeah, and that's still reading. I want people should know, if you're still doing audiobooks, it's still reading.
Well, yeah, because you're still having to process the information.
Yes, yeah. Because just because you didn't crack open the book and go dot 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 dot, you're hearing this. You're receiving
That's right.
media. You're taking
unless you're just playing it in the background and ignoring it.
Right. If it's just background noise, then I don't know.
Yeah, that we can't help you with that. Well, so tell me a little bit about what the book is about. Where'd the idea come from? What's it about? Although I'll tell you this before you start, and you tell me if I'm right. I'm a little nerdy. You may have noticed. I got a little bit of like a little hint of maybe Last Airbender, and definitely big time Power Rangers.
Yes.
Like big time, and I saw you were a fan of Power Rangers. I'm like, that absolutely had to have an influence. But you tell us about that. What's the book about?
Yeah,
how to come to?
Right. So Celestial Elementals is the story about 6 Black young adults. They live in Atlanta and surprisingly get superpowers from God out of just thin air, out of nowhere. And they are tasked as this next fighting.
That would kind of mess you up a little at first.
Especially the way they start discovering their powers. I think a few people are a little freaked out.
Yep.
Well, they're tasked with this very, very, very tedious task of having to fight an ancient demon who is hell-bent on being the devil's right-hand man. He's hell-bent on ruling the world, and making things in his own
So
image.
is this someone that people should be familiar with just in like religious studies or something? Is that name going to be familiar to them?
For some, it may or may not be. It's a little bit of a reference. If you hear his name, it's a little bit of a reference to something, but also it's just also to just be like plain. And also when you hear it, it sounds kind of.
Oh, it definitely does.
Yeah, it's kind of like, that rings a bell. Like, wow. So that's basically how I wanted it to go for him. But yeah, that the story, the whole point of it is everybody has to meet up, work together, and collaborate together in order to fight him and to restore what's called the balance, which is the scales of light and dark.
So are they receiving their powers, as a way of God fighting back against this evil? So he's like, I'm not just going to let this happen.
Basically, God and the devil agreed on a pact, and they said, look, we can't step into into creation and clash, because that's another big bang.
Well, that's right. It's going to destroy everything.
Everything's going to be destroyed. So we agreed that there will only be a balance and we'll have influence. And that was like, okay, I'm fine with that. And then he's like, no, I'm not. I'm going to see this demon, and he's going to wreak havoc and try to shift the balance over towards evil.
Right. He found a loophole.
Right, exactly. And so God said, well, I have no choice. Let me imbue these humans on earth with these almighty powers that I've created. So there's water, wind, lightning, earth, fire, and light. And these six will be tasked as these warriors that will fight against this force.
I loved on your website you list each character, and it's kind of like a D&D sheet on each character, basically. And I love that you got like their likes, their dislikes, everything. And you got Ray, and he's got his weapons, the bow staff, which was cracking me up because in my head he's pretty good with a bow staff.
Oh yeah, that is a very hard weapon, and so for what I wanted to do for them is just also they have sort of the muscle memory of the previous elementals before them to help them out.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Ray is just a nerd in general, and he follows stuff like this. He's seen bow staff movements. He's played characters in certain video games that have bow staffs. So that's how we get to that. And like the weapons all kind of relate in a way to their elements in a sense.
Yes.
That's how I wanted it to work. And the same way with their elements, everyone's element kind of relates to their emotions. And the whole point of whole point of certain people having certain elements is also to overcome them and master them. So let's take, for example, Ezekiel is fire.
Yes.
His element is fire. But the thing with fire is fire. A lot of people like to relate fire to like anger or aggressiveness. Yeah. But really, fire relates to passion.
Yes.
Fervent. And so Ezekiel has to find the passion within certain things, or the passion within himself, in order to master his element. Otherwise, the flame's gonna. So
right. I know. I kind of love that, and it's Earth Day today, so it also maybe has a little Captain Planet in there too, because. You got those in their elemental powers.
Exactly. Because it's all about the whole thing is like everything derives from sort of like a teamwork. When you look at like all the previous stories and all the things I'm inspired by, so Power Rangers, Avatar, Captain Planet, everything is about collaboration. Everything is about working together, being a team, like building off of each other. And building off of each other so well that you're able to overcome obstacles that most people can't. So,
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Do they also, like some of those other shows, can they combine their powers in any way?
So they can. I'm not going to spoil anything. But I would say, you get to the end of the day, you get to the end of the book and you like, oh, okay, they're doing this. Like,
yeah.
So once you get to that part, Mike, you'll
Is the plan for a trilogy, or is it going to be more than that?
So yeah, it's actually 4 books going to be total. So we got the first one already. Almost done with the second one. I'm about 65%, 70% of the way there.
Yeah.
I just started writing the outline for the third one, and then there's a fourth one. So basically, and I'll spoil them a little bit, but not too much.
That's right.
First book, of course, is them coming together, meeting each other, figuring out who they are and how they have to work together.
See, that to me, it like I didn't mind the book being short because it's almost like the prequel. This is you're learning about everybody in this.
Exactly. And also I'm designing the series for like people who are getting back in the reading or starting reading.
Yeah.
Who wants like a beginner, intermediate, advanced kind of situation.
Well, I was a very avid reader growing up, just loved books. But as I've gotten older, it's been harder just to find time to sit down and read. So this would be perfect for people like me that are just trying to get back into the habit of reading, and they need a start.
Exactly. So it's perfect for that. And but yeah, each series has a message, talks about different things. The first series is more so about self-love. I'm also just discussing a lot of Black unity, togetherness.
Yeah.
Second series is going to
focus. It's a good time for that right now.
Exactly. Second series focuses on mental health and relationships. The third series is going to focus around facing your fears and dealing with past sins, or so to speak,
Yeah,
sins.
yeah.
And then the last one is just simply going to be called Celestial Elementals Armageddon. And so you can imagine.
Yeah, yeah. Do you ever plan? Do you take us down into hell at any time? Oh, okay. You know I'm nerdy. I might guess a few. They may not be right. I'll throw it out there.
There is a plan in the future for that because there's a specific moment that has to be, like I said, the whole series up here.
Well, that's the reason I ask is because now that I've listened to you reading some of it, kind of it. I'm kind of curious because just obviously you are you've got a very strong imagination,
Yeah.
and I think your writing style is very descriptive, it's detailed, it's articulate. I'm interested to see what your vision of hell would be. That's why I brought it up. I'm kind of curious.
There's a vision from the demonic perspective, and then there's a position a view from the soul perspective.
Yes.
And so I wanted to kind of like distort those worlds and bring them together. And I know how I'm going to do it, but it has to be that's gonna happen. I'm gonna be honest, it's gonna happen in the last book.
Yeah, yeah.
We're doing a lot of in Armageddon, there's a lot of going on. There's a lot of travel.
Yeah.
Like I'm just gonna say that. There's a lot of moving parts for that last book. And it's all up here.
That's awesome. That's an ambitious idea.
Oh yeah. Because the
Are
last
you where did you grow up in the church? Where did the religious side of this come from?
Yeah, so I grew up in the church, and some things in the church I always look at and I'm like, okay, I hear what you're saying, but also they're kind of
Same. Yep.
Yep. So it's like, but this book is also my take on Christianity in the form of like, um, this is how I feel like God sees certain people or God sees
Yeah.
views, and also of more of like because it's not heavily Christian, it's not heavily like Jesus all throughout, not Bible scriptures. More so, I use it as like a vehicle to carry the story along.
Right.
To be like, this is the whole basis of everything. This is the sci-fi part of it, and this is how things get to where they are, and how they play a part in certain situations.
Well,
So
I like that it's big picture. You got all this stuff going on, but really at the core of it, it's almost like a coming of age type of story.
exactly.
You got this young group of young people, and you're watching them kind of grow into themselves.
Oh yeah, definitely. And it's also seeing them change their perspective, change their minds, grow from traditional or kind of like older mindsets to something more modern, something more understanding, something more, collective. And rather than just being like, oh, you do that? Ew, that's gross. Or, you're that kind of person. Why would you? Like, so it's more of a thing to keep people like it's more of a thing to help people see like you can be different and different people are okay and you can learn different things. You can change. Simple as that. Let me say that. You can change and you can change for the better.
See, I
So,
love that. It's a story with a message.
oh yeah, definitely.
Did did you write yourself in there anywhere?
Mhm.
Yeah, okay. I would too. I would totally be a cameo in my own book.
Of course. Like I always said if it ever got to like motion picture level, I would somehow want to play Ray. I don't know how that would happen, but I would love to.
Well, maybe you do the flash forward at some point and see Ray fully adulted up.
Oh, hey, you're onto something.
Like even if it was right at the end,
Yeah,
kind of see how they, what they become later on.
yeah. A play was made.
Or you do the thing, you be the dad.
I mean, hey, look. The Power Rangers were 25 and 27.
That's right.
Anything's possible. Anything's possible.
The one that cracks me up is go back and watch Grease, like the original Grease.
Yeah.
Like they were playing high school kids, and they were all in their 30s.
They were in their 30s, and they were supposed to be young and chippy and chip. I'm like, but you know what? It worked because hey, Grease is
That's a
legendary.
great movie.
It worked. Oh,
Yeah, that's pretty good. It's such a fun idea, and to me, it has so many possibilities. Like you could write until you just got sick of writing. You know, you've got this one as a 4-book series, but you could easily spin it off and just keep it going.
And the way I'm going to end it, it could easily
Yeah.
spin off to like either like a next generation type thing or well, this is where this character is now type thing. There's so much you can glean for it. The way I'm gonna leave it, it's gonna shake people up who read it for a long time, who follow the series. By the end, they're gonna be shaken up a lot, but also it's not only going to leave open interpretation for myself if I wanted to build more onto the, to the world and the universe, but also for people to glean what they may from what happens, even if I don't decide to.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we mentioned George Martin. Do you have any of his tendencies? Which, a lot of his characters don't make it.
Ooh.
Is there, are we going to be facing some consequences?
I will say people will face consequences, and there is some death in the book.
Okay.
Definitely.
Well, I mean, that kind of keeps it real, I think. Even though it's a fantasy story, that kind of keeps it grounded, I think.
Right. You have to. Because it always can't be sunshine and rainbows. The thing about it is, even if there isn't, it's always going to end on a bittersweet note.
Any love connections in the group?
Oh yeah, plenty.
Well, that's what happens when you're young.
Of course.
I mean, any of us, have you ever been in like one of those teenage friend groups, and over time, everybody dates everybody?
Right. And these 6 are in their 20s, like the oldest one being Ray and the youngest being Khalia. So it's very possible, like I think I like you. I think I like you. No, I actually hate you. No, I actually hate you. And then 2 books later, you know what? I need you.
Well, that's basically romance right there. So is your hope, your intention to actually see this made into a different form? Like this one, it'd be a great movie. I'd prefer a TV show. It'd be a great movie or a trilogy of movies, but it could also be something animated.
I would love, like, whatever's possible. I say the sky's the limit.
It kind of is. This is the type of story that you could do so much with it.
And I feel like if people were coming to me and be like, hey, we read it and we're like, hey, we want to make it an animated series. I'm like, okay, let's look into it. Hey, we want to make a full feature length, live action movie. Hey, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Because it's like whatever is going to be the best medium to get it out there, and I wanted to convey. I wanted to, portray what I need to portray to people, because basically the message I'm getting out there is like, look into yourself and grow. That's what the whole series I think is going to be overall. Look inside yourself, learn how to grow.
Yeah, I love that. That's really good. I could totally see it animated, like Vox Machina, on Amazon, something in that type of animation style. I could work.
Oh, awesome. I never thought of that until now. That would be awesome.
It would. I mean, if you put that type of because they had dragons and all that stuff, they could do this. I know. Now I've hurt your head. No, you're like, hey.
What does he say on it? The limit doesn't exist.
Right. Was there? You said you started this journey in 2016. Is that when the idea you came up with, or have you been carrying this one since you were like a kid?
So I feel like part of me knew I was going to make something.
Yeah.
I just never knew what it would be. Like, and part of me always, like, even in college, I like thought of like certain things, but it was like, I didn't even really want to do that. Like, you have those little like flash in the pan ideas, and it's like, I do that, or I should do something with that, and then you're like, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe not.
And so I think this one was really why I think this one really stuck for me was just like I wanted to think about like what the world needs, and also when you look out, there aren't that many black superheroes, and there aren't a
That's
lot
right.
of black superhero teams.
Yes.
So that's also in partial why I wanted to do this
Is
because
there a black superhero team?
other than what Marvel comes up when they randomly put them together sometime from time
Yeah,
to
I don't. Off the top of my,
like,
I'm a comic book
and
guy.
that's it.
Off the top
Yeah,
of my
that
head,
was
I
in the
can't think
comics
of
where they
any.
would randomly put like Black Panther and Monica Rambeau and all them together and just be
Yeah, they
like,
used to do like a Midnight Suns where they
yeah,
have people
something like
team up.
that. But then like when you look at it, like there isn't a black superhero team like out there.
Nope.
Like there's been like parodies, I feel like, but there's nothing been like, okay, these are our superheroes, and there's not a lot of black superheroes, period. Like
They're
I,
not. Yeah, that's right. There's not.
for me coming up, the first black superheroes I saw on television were probably Storm, Bishop, and what's it? Lord.
Static Shock, maybe.
Yeah, Static Shock, and I'm thinking of the Power Rangers, their actual names. I can't think, but Zach Taylor from
Oh
Power
yeah, yeah, yeah,
the Black
yeah.
Ranger, and then when they swapped the team, Aisha Campbell, who was Karen Ashley, was the Yellow Ranger, and
Yep.
so, like those were my superheroes growing up, and like
Wasn't Serena Vincent the Yellow Ranger at
yeah,
some point?
I want to say in Lost Galaxy, I think she was in
I'd
Lost.
had her on the podcast, but it's been a few
Yeah,
years back, and I'm like, I think she was a Yellow Ranger at one time.
yes, Lost Galaxy, Serena, yes,
There, that's
yep,
it.
it was.
Yeah,
Yo, I think her name on the what was her name on the show? Maya.
that's right. That's
Yeah,
it. Yep, yep.
Maya. And I remember because I love the Lost Galaxy theme as well because it was like I love a good sword. They had the Quasar sabers. It was
Yep.
like it was like Quake. What now? Do you grow up and you're like, what in the hell is a Quasar saber, bro? Yeah. And then like, but I remember their season, like how their season started off, and they were the first season to have like an actual Power Ranger death.
Oh, that's right. You're right.
And I was like, and that I think that was like one of those moments I was sitting there like, oh wait, we like you can actually die here, like you can die in this suit, like this is real.
That's right. Is it all fun and games?
Right. This isn't all jokes. Like you can get hurt. There's consequences. So
I could see just that angle of
yeah,
having a team that we haven't seen before. I could totally see that being a selling point.
oh yeah,
And I told you before, you're very descriptive in your writing, which would be helpful to adapt something. And your character interaction dialogue is really good, especially like I was, and admittedly, this is coming from another guy,
mhm.
but it seemed like you had the voices, the characters of the females down. Like it
Yeah.
seemed like I'm listening to dialogue. I'm like, this seems like a conversation that you might have if you were a young woman in your 20s.
I have so many female friends, and I've had friends all the way back to college.
Yeah.
So I feel like that also helped me fuel those conversations in the book when it's like certain situations.
Have you got any feedback from a woman? And
Oh yeah,
yeah. Because from my point, it seems pretty accurate. But I'm curious what you've heard from other women.
oh yeah, they appreciated how I handled their line because Khalia and Viera are basically two best friends, different ages, and they kind of like have this dynamic where Viera is usually the one to be like she's the alpha, or
Yeah.
she's the one that's like everybody's like that's Viera. This, but in this role when they become elementals, there's a shift, and now it's Khalia, and Viera is kind of struggling to grasp that and sort of like be okay with that. So it's like she has to figure out like how am I going to adjust to this? This is so different for me.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of people like when they finish the book, they like how I handled them. Their story continues on, of course. They're going to, there's going to be more between them and around and surrounding them. And there's a whole like little arc that they have to go through. Everybody's gonna have because right now I feel like in the first book, a lot of the arc centered around the group and also but more so focal pointed at Ray.
Right.
Most of the books are all focal pointed at Ray, but when I get to the third book, everybody's gonna basically have this arc that they have to kind of like get over. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I
I love that you've got just all this in your head.
it's so much, man. It's so much, and I'm trying to get it all out before I start the next series because the next series I wanted to start was going to be about a black boy who goes into the dream world.
Oh, okay.
My next series to focus on and look after I give all the love and care I can.
You're like full on writer now.
that's that's what my family says. Like you're a legit author now. I was like, I guess.
Yeah. Well, you know, I was thinking if it's animated, you can easily voice whoever you want.
You know what?
But you also mentioned there was previous, you know, previous Guardians before. You can totally play one of them.
Exactly. Oh,
I'm just trying to get you in the movie, man.
I'm going to be in it one way or another. Find a way.
Well, you know, I kind of prefer the Vox Machina type of anime, but Incredible is, well, it's pretty incredible what they're doing with that.
Incredibles, like that animation is insane, and it's like the way they capture, woo, the details, and oh my god.
Yeah, it's a great comic.
Sometimes I do like get a little, you know, you get a little queasy. I'm like, whoa, like Jesus,
well done.
like, and the voice actors do such a great job of portraying like their emotions. Like you can hear the pain, you can hear like the turmoil.
Oh, you really can.
Like especially when you finished the latest season.
Yes.
Oh my man!
And I've read the source material, so I know it.
Okay, so you know when Mark and Conqueror,
yeah,
yes,
brutal,
man.
Yeah, I just like it wasn't that long ago. I read that one before the season started, but they did a good job adapting it.
All I'm gonna say is this scene. I was no. What I think really threw me off was when him with Oliver, man. Oh my God. I was like, no, please don't.
Don't do that.
It's a child. Please don't do this. No, don't do this, please.
Well, you know, it kind of like from the first season when he holds Mark and the train goes through him.
Yes, and basically they recreated. I was like, wait a minute, he's to have to relive that trauma. Like, like what is happening?
I know. It's brutal.
Like, wait a minute. This is literally reminiscent of what is happening? Is he your grandfather or something? What's going on here?
I know. I know. It's so good. But this could be that. You know, I mean, you could totally do something similar, maybe not quite as violent, but you could do something similar. Because I know you're trying to more of a young adult type of.
As we go on, it's gonna.
Oh yeah, it would have to.
And
you know, we know the name of the last book, so we know what's coming.
In book 2, I really explore a lot of body horror.
Do you have a name for book 2?
Right now, it's titled Dreams and Nightmares because we're dealing with a lot of dreams and nightmares.
Yeah.
There's a lot of mental health stuff going on there.
Yeah.
So, and we're dealing with now a 7th element, darkness.
Ooh. Oh, I like that.
So that
because if you've got light, you have to have a darkness.
Oh yeah. And the way how you find out that the darkness exists, it might shock you a little bit.
Okay.
So I'm ready for people to read that and go.
I've got this vision of you like laying in bed and just sitting up and be like, I got the best idea.
Let me tell you something. About a year ago, that happened when I was in the shower, thinking about how Armageddon is going to end, and I said, "Oh shit!" I'm sorry.
You got on here. You got to turn the water off.
It was like, "Oh my god!" Like I know how I'm going to do it, and I literally went in my notes, and I'm like, "I just have to keep." Got it. I'm like, "Oh, that would be a gag."
Awesome.
And I'm like, I can't wait to write it.
This would also make a pretty good graphic novel. You got to have a comic book adaptation.
This is also true because I'm working with trying to find a new artist because I like my cover, but I want my cover to have a little bit more, let's say, personality.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I thought it was really good.
It looks very powerful. It looks very like
Yeah.
overarching, but I really want it to like pop out. And so I'm working with an artist right now to get some stuff drawn up. Might be working with another one, but right now I'm like really exploring how to make them pop off the page. So when you pass it or you look at it, you're like, "Hey, whoa, what's this?" Like,
Yeah, that's really good.
you know,
How long did it take you to come up with the name?
uh, a while because
Yeah.
because it's like, how do I explain Ninja Angels?
Well, that was kind of it. I was
That
like,
was
they're kind of like ninjas, but how?
because it's very hard to kind of like nail down. And even with the name I have now, I know it's long because everybody, and I was like, I want to say thank you for fully pronouncing it, Mike. A lot of people go celestial elements and stop.
No, elementals.
Right. But it's a long name. But I'm like, y'all sit up here and say Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief, no problem. Like
That's right. That's right. Well, once it takes off, and I think it's got a really good chance of doing that, then everybody will know. It'll
right.
be a thing then.
Right. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, it took me a while to like really come up with the name because I was just like, what really encompasses these people and how
Yeah.
can it like kind of pop off? How can it sound like a cohesive thing? And in the book, they're always just calling each other elementals. But as for like everybody outside that universe knows it's celestial elementals because, it's like God-given powers. It's
That's
like,
right. That's
like,
right. You
like
know, this would also make a good like card game, video game,
I thought of that.
board game. I mean, you could do a role playing game. You could do all that.
That you're giving me so many ideas.
I know. I'm gonna help you out. We're gonna get this
Okay.
on. We're gonna get this taken off.
Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha.
You could easily, well, not easily. It'd be difficult, but you could make this into a role playing game.
And everybody has their own piece. Somebody has an Ezekiel piece, a Viera piece, a
That's
Khalia,
it.
and like all the pieces do like special things or
Yeah. I mean, they used to have, and it may still have, they used to have Marvel and DC role playing games. So there's
Ooh.
games out there where they had power systems.
Hmm.
I don't know, just a thought. Video game would be fun too. And
Man,
I think you could do a card game like a Magic the Gathering or Pokemon or something.
yeah. Oh man.
Because think about it, you got all these figures, you got that card and it's got these powers, and
Right.
you could do it.
Dude.
I'm just saying, marketing wise, this could be big.
Yeah, it could be wild. I would love it. I would love it to just like go past and beyond my wildest
Well, I'm
dreams.
just going to put in. I want to put in my request that if this gets made into something at some point, you
Mhm.
invite me to set so I can interview you
Oh, of
on
course.
set. That's
Oh, of
my
course.
request.
Oh,
I
yes.
want an on-set interview.
There's so many people who have taken a chance to interview me. I'm like, everybody that has them definitely going to be like, hey, whatever we're doing, come in and see and come in. Let's talk about it. Like, and this is also exposure for you for anybody.
Well, that's
'Cause-
right. It helps me too. Yeah, I
exactly.
watched one of your interviews with he was a book author type of guy or a
Yeah.
book part, and it was really good. It was on your website. I watched that one.
Okay. Thank you.
It was well done. He was very knowledgeable.
Oh yeah, and I still talk to him. He's in the Discord and everything. Life has gotten crazy for me, so I haven't been as social as I used to be.
Yeah.
But I still keep in touch with certain people, and like I can still be like, hey, if you need me, or if you need me to talk about something, or be somewhere, or speak on it, like
Right.
I'm there. So
Have
yeah.
you thought about like hitting some conventions, setting up a table?
Oh yeah. So I coming up, I haven't signed up yet, but Rangers. I don't know if you ever heard of Ranger Stop and Pop.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
Right. So Ranger Stop and Pop is coming up in Atlanta, and so I'm going to try to get a table for that because that's the last one I think they're doing in Atlanta. I don't know if it's the last one completely, but they're saying they
Oh yeah,
did.
you should grab that then.
Yeah. Oh, so definitely, and like there's a whole bunch.
Hey,
Whole
check out I don't know where it's around Atlanta, but it's called the Camp.
the camp.
The Camp. And like it started it was just Walking Dead actors, but they've expanded it from there. So they've got several different shows, actors and stuff. But I'm betting that you could set up a table there and do pretty well. And it's like it's a convention, but it's based around experiences. So they'll have like the actors and stuff singing karaoke with fans and stuff. So they kind of tailor it to make it a whole thing. But check it out. The guy that runs it's named Oscar Rodriguez.
Okay,
But
awesome.
it's in your area there. So yeah, I think it comes up next month.
Yeah, May 24th, 25th in Peachtree City. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, let me take that. Thank you.
Yeah. If you contact him, you tell Oscar I said hey. He's a real nice guy. He's an artist. Hey, there you go. There's your connection.
Exactly. That's awesome.
Well, Jaymar, thanks for taking some time. This has been terrific. The book is great. I'm just starting to read it, but I'm about, I don't know, a little past halfway listening to it.
Okay,
but I'll do it both ways because I love holding a book.
Yeah.
I love holding a book, but I was like, well, I want to hear it because I just wanted to get a little sense of your writing style. And it's good. It's really good. I mean, for somebody that hasn't written, it's pretty good. Well, I think I'm guessing your tech background probably didn't hurt you with some of the technical aspects of it.
That had some help in it because other than that, like it has like the whole, the discipline of it all, like just making sure like this is in a ducks in a row or ducks in a row and all that good stuff. So yeah,
it's good. So before I let you go, Jaymar, kind of run us through all your social medias and your website.
Okay, awesome. So you guys can find me at _SenseiJ. I'm on Instagram, on X, on Facebook. On Facebook, you can go follow.
Do you do martial arts?
No, I want to.
Yeah, you should. You've got the name, so you should.
You know what? And that's what I was thinking. Okay. And then you can follow, look up if you visit tceseries.com, you can also look at tcebook.com. You can find all the socials for everything Celestial.
It does. Yeah, you're right. It lists everything right there. Yeah.
The Facebook, the Instagram, the TikTok, all that good stuff. So
you've been hitting the media stuff pretty good. I even read an interview with you. It was really good.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're everywhere.
I'm trying to get it out there. I'm trying to get.
Well, when you're self-publishing, you have to.
Yeah,
but I don't. There's the regular big publishers and stuff, but more and more people are self-publishing and doing well.
Yeah, because I think a lot of like there's this thing in publishing and in Hollywood now. It's like they're a little afraid to take on new ventures. So it's kind of like you got to get your own stuff out there and build up something for yourself, and then go back
and then they'll take a shot on you.
Right. Yeah. So and I don't mind doing that. It's just where it is now because people are kind of afraid to take chances, especially with this economy. It's like you don't want to flop and then have to like, how are we going to recoup $120 million?
You're probably not.
Exactly. It's just gone at that point. So yeah, I really hope I can build up a fan base. Like I hope the first book is good enough to get people interested, and the second book really just bowls people over, if anything. So
yeah, I think it will. I love it so far. What a great idea, and I love that you're taking like all the stuff that you love and it's influencing your writing. That's cool.
Oh yeah, definitely, and it has to, and it's everything I love, and also experiences I've gone through and things I've seen, and I'm like, if we were able to do things a different way and take things in a different pathway. Like the possibilities are endless for a better ending. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I agree. I think like I've been throwing ideas at you, but you're wide open. You can do anything with this.
Oh yeah,
that's pretty cool. All right, Jaymar, hold on one second. Listen, I've done almost 1,000 episodes of this podcast, if you can believe it. We do a lot with self-published authors, and I'm intentional about that because I love creative people, and there's so many good ideas out there that never get noticed. So I've had several authors on the show, dozens, that I believe in. I think what they're writing is strong enough that it needs an audience. And Jaymar, being honest, it's one of the better ones that I've seen. He's he's really put the time into developing backstories for his characters. He's created a whole world, and that's not easy to do. So if you're into sci-fi fantasy, especially on the young adult side, because he's writing it more for your teenager, early 20s type of reader, although anybody can enjoy it because I'm enjoying it. He's toning down some of the violence, not all of it, but some of it, and making it a little more young reader friendly, if that makes sense. And I love that. I think there's a place for both. You can do the violent side. There's an audience for that, but we need more of the content that our young readers can get into. That's reading. And even if you're just listening instead of reading, because it does all go into that. Most people just aren't doing that, and that's something that is so important, especially when young minds are developing. You need all that to give your mind room to grow. So I hope that you'll look for celestial elementals. Those of you that watch the show know that I'm kind of fighting through a Parkinson's diagnosis, and it tends to make my face really tight right through here, and I struggle pronouncing certain words. It's just hard to get my mouth to move that way. So apologies. Combine that with a West Virginia accent, it could be a little rough. Do Jaymar a favor and check this book out. It's worth your time. And the cool part is, I actually think he could get this made into something. You could be on the ground floor and then be telling people, "Oh yeah, I've already read this. I know all about it." You can be kind of that person, which is not a terrible. I've made a career, a life out of being that person. So come join me. If you're finding us for the first time, so happy that you're here. I hope you'll support us. It's easy to do. It's free. We don't ask for any money. Our website's meistercon.com. You can find 956 episodes and counting, audio and video versions. We tend to put out episodes on Monday through Friday, or Monday through Friday, but we'll tend to we average about 4 a week. So I'm trying to say, so about 4 episodes a week. Sometimes we'll hit 5. Occasionally we'll even hit 6 on really busy weeks, but usually we average about 4. You can find all those on the website, meistercon.com. Our YouTube channel is MeisterCon Pod. Please subscribe. It's free. Really helps us out. Thank you guys so much. I hope you'll come back. Till next time. Bye, everybody.